That's right. We're doing this one backwards.
Like everything else.
Well, this just might be so stupid that it's going to command our full attention. You ready?
Ready.
I love the enthusiasm, man. No, in all seriousness, I don't know where the hell the intro clip is. It's supposed to be here, but it's not. So if I can't click it, I can't click it.
No.
But yeah, the grandest scale antisocial experience 291er. I think. Tell me I'm right. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me something that I don't know. Anyhow, moving on. As you can see, we have a logo in the background. It's not ours. But if you can see that, what is the most popular news title ever?
Florida man, whatever.
Yeah, Florida man. Those 2 words.
Did you hear Swamp Fest that they have in Florida?
Yeah, it's a BMX thing.
Dude, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty legit. They've been doing that for years.
Yeah, it's crazy.
This year marks the 1st February. They had, I think it was in February of this year, they had the Florida Man Games.
Yeah, well, they had a Swamp Fest in February too.
Dude, what do you picture in the Florida Man Games?
It could be anything from pedophiles to, I mean.
Yeah, there's like crazy shit. Well, not that, but so just to top it off, picture like trying to wrestle while not spilling like a pitcher of beer.
An alligator.
Like wrestling each other while not spilling beer.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I'm a little hoarse today, sorry. There was like a relay type race where they would have to like run and carry bicycles, and then the next person like carrying copper pipes, like.
Jesus Christ! Did they have to like take them and like take the copper pipes and get them to like a scrapyard at a certain point in time?
No, just a relay race. You know what I mean? And just there was another one I think where they were, and this was to be able to get into the lifestyle of Florida man without ending up in a cop car or jail. There was like a running from sheriff's event. Just basically most of the shit you could think of in Florida man news titles, news segments, they had like an event for it. But I guess the organizer said that whenever he approached the county about, I think, nudity and drugs related things that I don't know if it's nudity and drugs or nudity and fighting, like fighting. They frowned on it. So he couldn't go that far, obviously. But if even just cutting out those 2 things, you end up with a whole lot of fun Florida Man games. And you got to wonder, was it stupidity on the grandest scale, or was it? Because like, dude, look at that. They actually have somebody that like a company that provided merch for it, allegedly. That for what I take from it, like looking at the website. How did nobody think of this before this guy?
Who sponsors this kind of thing?
Well, one person thought of it, and tickets cost $45 per entry. Like somebody, if you wanted to take place in it, it was $45 per person. And obviously, there's titles other than Florida Man, like Florida Woman, but they had a Florida Ma'am pinup contest. So obviously, if they keep doing this event, I guess they're going to expand it outward. Like,
wow,
you know, probably going to have both man and woman, male and female type thing. You know, whatever, however you want to say it. I don't. What terms am I supposed to use here, Jimmy?
I don't know. You can't. It doesn't even really matter. It'll be wrong no matter what.
Right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We're getting 3 new bathrooms installed.
Yeah, definitely. But no, it's Florida Man Games. Never thought I would hear those words put together.
So who won?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't get that far into it, but I figured talking about it would be enough. The fact that, and when you're like people were complaining about, oh, there's no new ideas, no new TV shows, no new movies. No, that's a new idea.
Yeah.
Huh? That's a new idea. You cannot. Oh, he's copying the Olympics. Sure.
Maybe the Special Olympics.
Not even that.
No.
I mean, just picture. Like, so I was reading one guy, he would ride a bike with another bike strapped to his back trying to prepare for this event. Okay, and he won that event, like, running, basically, with 2 bicycles like he was stealing them, you know?
Jesus Christ.
That's what I said. I didn't wanna tell you about it ahead of time, but, like,
Why were you I just don't understand why we're promoting this, though, like, it makes no sense to me.
eh, something to talk about, something silly.
No, not like us personally, but, like, why are they like, we're a bunch of fucking idiots, so let's show everybody how much stupid we are, and
Oh, yeah, yeah, well, one guy the I forget the guy's name, but he got the idea for it, and he's like, "I can't believe nobody thought of it beforehand." And he expected to make a little bit of money, but I guess it made a lot. I mean, people were driving from hundreds of miles to watch. And it's like, here's the thing, right? Many, many years ago, I don't know how many moons ago, right? On one of Florida's flags, it actually said, "Let us alone." And if you take and pack that many people, and like nobody listened because you pack that many people like vacationing there, tourists there, plus people retiring there, and people that have just like were born there
mhm.
all in one place, shit's gonna happen and pop off, obviously, right? But yeah, apparently nobody listened to that flag back in the day of "Let us alone."
That's so dumb.
Dude.
Who has this kind of time?
Florida man.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not picking on him, you know what I mean? But dude, it's I don't know. It's like
We should have, like, Phillipsburg man fucking games.
I don't know, but
Mhm. They'd have to
dude,
do, like, a line of crank and then fucking run and steal pizza from
I don't
somewhere.
know, dude. Are you prepared to fucking get a Jeep into the
Yeah, I think
I mean,
that's like the Eliminator, like in American
that's like
Gladiators.
that's a finishing move, you
Yeah,
know?
that's the Eliminator.
You said American Gladiators?
Mhm.
I was just gonna bring that up. So, one of the people I don't I don't know if she was judging or if she was there, but it was one of the participants, a female participant in American Gladiators,
Was she a gladiator or was
but
she just a participant?
participant,
Oh, okay.
not a gladiator, but she yeah, a participant from American Gladiators in the
They're
'90s.
they're like, "Laser, ice,
Yeah, it made her
nitro."
yeah, her one name, her nickname middle was Ice, but I don't think it wasn't a gladiator, it was a contestant,
Hmm.
but she made her way there for that. And it's like, damn, they're pulling out American Gladiator contestants for this? Like,
Yeah.
talk about nostalgia.
They bring back Gemini. He's like 112. I don't know if he's still alive.
Who was your favorite gladiator?
Male or female?
Both.
Electra was definitely my favorite female gladiator, and I'd have to say, oh god, I think Turbo was probably
Turbo?
yeah,
Turbo was pretty good.
yeah, Turbo was cool. He was a built son of a bitch too, man. He was big.
And to be honest, imagine going on to that show. Going up against any one of them would be
Do you watch any
terrifying.
of the documentaries on it lately?
No.
Oh, dude, they're awesome. They're
What's
awesome.
that on?
One's on Netflix and ESPN did one too.
Alright, I'm gonna have to check them both out because believe it, I used to watch that show.
Dude, I
Who
loved that
didn't?
show.
Who didn't?
Oh,
Did it take place in Florida?
yeah, at Universal Studios. Don't you remember the arena? They had people painted in the seats to make it look like there was more people there.
Mm-mm.
If you go back and look, there's like people literally painted on the walls and stuff to make it look like there's more people there.
Oh, I gotta see I gotta see
Dude,
their
it's
shit.
so good. The original season of Gladiators, it was awesome. Like you remember the assault that fucking competition because that was everybody's favorite with the guns and you had to shoot the thing and the
The tennis balls?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the original one though, it was set up like a fucking a war field, dude. Like you had to crawl under barbed wire. There's smoke. There's grass. There's dirt. Like it was like a legit battlefield on
Like,
the first season. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And then they changed it to those square gitchies they had, but. Like, yeah, the first season, dude, it was like you were actually on a battlefield. It was crazy. Landmines going off, tanks coming at you.
Yeah. That's intense.
Airstrikes, yeah, it was awesome.
And,
Gemini shooting $100 tennis balls at you.
and speaking of this crazy type shit, right? Florida Man Games, American Gladiators. Have you seen what American Ninja Warrior has evolved into? Like,
No.
some of the shit they do?
Mm-mm. I never watched that.
Dude, watch, like, the early first season and compare it to shit that's happening now.
But what's different?
It just the crazy shit that they're doing.
They just
Like,
evolved.
yeah, like, I think part of what evolved it to another level is people that other than common people, like, people that are actually professional, like, I don't wanna say pros, but, like, people that were doing rock climbing and people that have great grip strength were getting involved, so they're naturally athletic. And if you're doing rock climbing, you're gonna have good grip strength and stuff, and they're just, like, coming in and killing,
Well, dude.
people that were doing parkour. I
Mhm.
think somebody that's, yeah, dude from the UK.
Like that Office episode.
Yeah, right. No, dude from the UK actually come on, and he did pretty good for quite a few. I don't think he made it all the way to the finals, maybe he did. I forget, I didn't watch every show of it or every one that he was on, but he did fairly good, and he's just does parkour in his spare time and has recently started climbing, but
Well, like, look at skateboarding compared to even when we were kids to now. Like, these guys are I'm watching shit on, like, Instagram and stuff. They're doing, like, one skateboard, doing a front flip over this bankment and landing on another skateboard at the bottom and skating away, and I'm like,
mm,
"Jesus Christ," like,
not even that, just th the complexity of tricks, flip tricks, body burials, body rotations,
it's nuts.
yeah,
And then they're sliding down rails that are, like, just, you would have said impossible 10 years ago. And
yeah,
they're like, yeah, I mean,
yeah, exactly, and that's I don't wanna say just skateboarding, I think that's all, like
yeah.
what do they consider that? Like, extreme sports?
Yeah, I guess so.
Would that be like skateboarding and BMX?
Mhm.
I don't know if you'd say extreme, but and what blew that up? Do you think the X Games had a big hand in making that more
I think the X Games had a big hand in it. I think Tony Hawk Pro Skater had the hugest hand in it.
yeah.
'Cause it was getting big when I was skating whenever he like, Tony landed the 900 on ESPN. Like, I'll remember that to the day I die, and, like, we were in the hardcore skating, you know what I mean? Skating and BMX, and then it was just, like, 2 years later, they came out with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and then it was just there was all of a sudden, Walmart had BMX bikes, skateboards out the ass. They were just it was everywhere. You know, you could buy ramps at Walmart now, you know what I mean? Instead of having to fucking build them and stick them behind the unemployment office wall and shit like that, you know?
Yeah. It also kinda hurt, at least BMX and skateboard kind of being available there because it's not can you go get a semi-quality bike there now? Yeah. I don't know about board.
No, dude, I was watching a thing where this pro skater picked up a board from Walmart and, like, he would do his trick on his board and then try to do the same trick on the other board. Oh my god.
Made it harder.
Oh my god.
Or if you managed it, sometimes they break,
There was
yeah.
no pop, there was no the wheels barely spun, like, it's bad, man.
Yeah. So there are some quality differences. Yeah, I actually saw a video, it came into my recommended or suggested, whatever, and it was the guy was trying out Tony Hawk's Walmart board, 'cause I guess Tony Hawk has a board at Walmart.
Mhm.
Somehow, I didn't even watch the video, and just going based off what I've seen, what you were saying, I can almost guarantee that my old beat up Tony Hawk board from the '80s is probably better quality than that.
Absolutely, 100%. That's just like, with the Mongoose bicycles when Walmart bought them out.
Oh,
You know, that broke my heart, man, because I was riding a Mongoose at the time, but it was like a $500 Mongoose, you know what I mean?
I actually not funny story, but I wanted to get a mongoose because one of my good friends had a mongoose that he got from a bike shop and
Mhm.
a legit mongoose. And I'd recently bought a Diamondback bike from a bike shop.
Oh, those are nice bikes too.
Yeah, they were
Mhm.
back then, you know? And I so much wanted to get a mongoose. I was like, I'm gonna save up. I know I just got this, but save up, go get another one, then sell this one. And in the time of me saving up as a kid,
Sold out.
yep, they started selling there. I'm like, yeah, no,
It was never the
I'm gonna
same.
avoid that.
Yeah, they weren't the same.
I remember Pearl chimed in chat. I remember back in the day buying special bearings, wheels, and other things for skateboards. Does that ring? Yes, that rings a bell.
Yeah, you gotta have bones bearings, fucking
Yeah, Swiss at
yeah, Swiss
least bones,
yeah,
Swiss, something, man. You did not want.
no. And then, like, yeah, oh my god, dude.
Let's look at this for a minute as not professionals, but professionals on the topic because of experience.
Mhm,
I think we can talk about skateboarding and
absolutely.
biking because of our experience. Even though it's not our main thing, we still don't do it regularly.
No, I was never good at it, but I did it,
Yeah,
you know?
but I think able to professionally speak about it
Yeah.
from based on experience. Is there anything you can really work with off of a cheap board and build it into something good? I mean,
I was gonna even maybe say the hardware, but I don't even think that.
I've tried hardware, and I usually end up snapping some bolts.
Mhm.
I've actually tried trucks off of a cheap board, and what happens
They
is,
don't turn?
well, if you change out the bushings, you can get them to turn, but as soon as you try and do something like a full cab or a half cab, you're riding, riding fakie half cab over something, you usually land and break a kingpin,
Yeah.
you know, or say you don't manage to break a kingpin, or because you were smart enough to swap out the kingpin right away with like a harder grade bolt,
Mhm.
and you end up grinding a little bit on them and they end up cracking. And when they crack, sometimes those trucks don't have an axle run. The cheap ones don't have the axle running the whole way through.
Right.
So that's
Speaking of cab, I met Steve Caballero, that was cool.
yeah, I never have.
Yeah, I met him in Vegas. He was just, like, standing right there, and I'm like, "Oh my god, it's Steve Caballero," and I was like, "Jared, hold
Was
my."
was he standing there?
Yeah, like, yeah. Yeah,
Dude,
we got a picture together.
every photo, yeah, I know, I've seen it.
Did he break his neck or something?
I don't know. I
It's
think he
like
did hurt himself,
he had to have.
and
You
he's
don't
just
just
all
yeah, you don't just, like
stand there with your head cocked sideways.
yeah, but he's still good, man, he still skates, he still
Oh yeah. Did you
mhm,
see where in this? I mean, it's on topic but off topic because, like, as always, this show's just you know
on your mark, get set, go.
yeah,
Yeah.
ADHD, ADD, completely off the rails.
Mhm.
Uh, they rebuilt the animal chin ramp.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
No shit.
and they had the people that skated in the movie, Tony, Steve. Yeah, they rebuilt that a few years back and put it up
Did you hear
and
about the
had them
story
skating
behind
it.
that?
Huh?
Did you hear the story about the original one?
No.
They built that without ever asking the landowner or anything like that, they just built it right
Of
on there.
course they did,
Yeah.
because that's how skateboarding was.
Mhm, so they're building it, right? And it's literally the day to shoot, and they show up, and there's fucking guys out there just raising hell, dude, about this fucking ramp, and they're like, "Listen, we gotta do this movie, and then we'll take it down." They did talk him into fucking letting them do it, you know what I mean? But, yeah, he was like, "What the fuck is this?" You know what I mean? That was a big ramp, man.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, but he never saw it until there was the day they were gonna shoot.
But they had to they had to use some pretty crazy tech, I think, to rebuild it because they didn't have the plans. Because I don't think they went with any plans back then. They just had some experienced ramp builders and said, "Here, materials, ramp builder."
Yeah. Animal Chin pushes out that little door and walks through it.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
And like, put it up, and he just put up this monstrosity of a ramp.
Yeah, didn't Greg Stesic play Animal Chin? Isn't that who played him?
I can't
I
remember
think
who
it was
that was.
Stesic, man. I'm pretty sure.
Somebody, yeah, it was somebody off character,
Yeah,
like,
but he was a photographer or whatever.
could have been, yeah.
Yeah, he's a madman. Mhm. They one time they were in a pal, they were gonna set a car on fire, so they did it in front of his parents' house, and they cut the car in half and set it on fire so Steve Cavallari could take a picture in front of it while it was burning. And they're, like, in this, like Linwood here, you know what I mean? It's this, like, fucking gated neighborhood, and there's this fucking car on fire. So the fucking emergency crews show up, and they run up to Stesic, they're like, "The car's on fire." He's like, "I know, I don't know whose it is, we're trying to put it out."
And it was his.
Yeah.
That's the move, though, when that
Yeah.
shit happens, right?
Yeah. Fucking hilarious. He's like, "I don't know whose it is. We're just trying to put it out." I'm like,
No, of course you do.
mhm.
Or of course you don't know whose it is.
They're right in front of the dude's house, his parents' house, and they're like, "What are you doing out here?" Yeah,
You know,
let a car on fire, and yeah.
skateboarding.
Mhm. They kept asking, "What's this has to do with skateboarding?" Because those guys made like those ads that were, to fucking classic now. Like they changed the game with those ads because
Oh,
they didn't show skateboarding in them.
right.
You know,
No, they showed
did just stupid shit. You know what I mean?
kids,
Yeah,
and video clips, kids drinking, smoking, hanging out.
yeah. Kids looking
Bunch of kids in a big older classic
like
car.
Caballero, the one he's standing beside that, like the taillight of that car, but he's just standing there by the taillight of the car. They painted the Hawk's face at one time, like this board. You know what I mean? Like, but it never showed skateboarding.
Right.
And then there's the one I remember too, where it was like it was a Bones Brigade ad, but yet it had all these different riders and why they didn't want to ride for the Bones Brigade.
Oh, yeah.
They're like they're a bunch of pansies and this and that.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a good
Yeah, I
time.
remember that shit. But yeah, it's crazy just that in trying to compare this and start wrapping it up, the, con compare and contrast the two sports where where they were when we were kids,
Yeah, it's just
and even before, like the shirt you got on. Look at where it started with Dogtown Z Boys.
yeah.
That's that level of skating. It was just basically like
It's surf. It was
to try
surfing.
and surf on
Mhm.
land
Yeah,
and carving banks, and that to
yeah. Now,
freestyle to
yeah, because freestyle back then was like doing handstands and shit, man. Until Rodney Mullen came along.
oh god, yeah, that dude. I want to say I don't think skateboarding would be where it is now without him
No way.
existing.
No way, dude.
Learning to get the board off the ground.
Yeah, I mean, he did the first riding ollie ever, and like nobody even used that trick for a long time after he did it. You know what I mean?
No,
And now, like, it's essential for you to be able to ride an ollie, like to skateboard. Like, you have to be able to do that.
that is the base
Yeah,
for everything else.
yeah,
And then after that, kick and heel flip.
yeah.
Like,
But Rodney looked at the board and he's like, "I can ride every side of this motherfucker," and he did.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, dude. I just saw a show with him recently. I think him and Tony Hawk are doing like a two date like speaking thing
Oh, yeah,
where they're together and speaking together.
that's cool. Him and Tony were always like the tightest out of the Bones Brigade. Like, yeah, because
Yeah,
they were the weirdos.
yeah.
Yeah.
But no, comparing back then, even before till now, just crazy differences. And, obviously they qualify as sports. Did they get skateboarding to the Olympics?
I don't know that for sure. Fuck, I know they took baseball. These guys are probably in their I'm
Tony Hawk's in his 50s.
yeah, he's late 50s.
So is Caballero,
Yeah, yeah.
Rodney.
Cap might be a 59 or 60 at this point.
Look, if you want to see, I'm going to throw it out here now. If you want to see, if you have time to sit and watch a good show, look up Hawk versus Wolf. It's Tony Hawk and I forget the dude's name. His co-host. They have a video podcast on YouTube. Watch both episodes that have Rodney Mullen on.
Or watched Hawk versus Christian Soy from back in the 80s. Those were good ones too.
Yeah. What was the Mullen videos?
Oh, they were like
Him and him versus Day One Song.
Day One Song. And then Danny Way had his own video when he was dropping in from that helicopter and shit. Madman.
Dude. Yeah, no, they're just.
Yeah.
It would not be what it is without.
No.
And I don't want to say any one person, but think about the accomplishments of all these great athletes.
Dude, the Bones Brigade themselves pretty much did almost every basic trick. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they have 3/4 of the tricks you do now, one of those dudes invented it. You know, like Mike McGill, the Twix, all that shit. Like, they invented all kinds of shit, man.
It's
Lance Mountain makes money now. He's one of those dudes that skate around and films people with the camera.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
He builds those crazy like half pipe coffee tables, like it's like it's like a decorative thing.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
He's cool.
I think that's him that builds them, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. But yeah, check out. All you have to go on YouTube, look for Hawk versus Wolf, and look for the episode with Rodney Mullen. There's 2 of them. The first one's good. The second one's even better.
I'll check it out. I've never seen them.
Yeah, for anybody out there that wants to know. And but then now, and these are obviously sports, and now it seems we got a new sport. Wrapping it back up full circle. Florida Man Games.
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. The options are endless here. We're gonna start the Swamp Man Games here in PA.
We could.
We
got enough swamps here.
Mm-hmm. Like that dude that tried to take his buggy out through the swamp behind Ames and got stuck and floated. Yeah, that we should make that as something. Like that.
That's an event.
That's an event.
But we're not doing it buggies. We're doing it with our cars. Daily drivers only.
That
right?
And like those 4-wheel wheelchairs buggies that they drive on Front Street.
The what?
The buggies that the guys have there's like a pack of them now that they all have those motorized wheelchairs.
Yeah,
those guys.
The
too.
scooters.
Yeah, those
mobility
guys too.
scooters.
Yeah, those guys too.
And see, that's the thing. You open up to something like that to make it more entertaining, and then you have like a huge content creator like the dude in the UK. He modified a mobility scooter, gets up to like 70 some mile an hour.
Jesus Christ.
He'll show up and just like obliterate everybody. Of course, Or
you got the guy that lives by me, and he literally like drives a scooter around like he can't walk, and then he's like by my dumpster, and he'll jump up and dive in my dumpster and take a bunch of shit out, and then leave, but rides away on a scooter. And I'm like, what the fuck is the purpose of that?
Winner.
Yeah, I guess he is a winner. That's for sure.
All right, sir.
All right,
you gonna wrap this up for us?
I guess.
We only have the outro to intro with, and we got an outro with the outro, so it's gotta be you gotta be next level.
Let's outro.